Hello students, myself Darshil Shah, working as an assistant professor in Department of Quality Assurance with LJ Institute of Pharmacy. Today we are going to discuss about the fluorescence spectroscopy. First, we see the what is fluorescence. Fluorescence means if any compound or molecule absorbs the radiation and it releases its energy in the form of light, that is called as the fluorescence. In a simple words, we can say that if any compound emits the radiation by absorbing the energy, that is called as a fluorescence. Before going ahead, we need to see the different types of spectroscopy. So, there are basically three types of spectroscopy. First is considered as the absorption spectroscopy, second one is the emission spectroscopy, and third one is the scattering spectroscopy. In absorption spectroscopy, we measure the intensity of absorbed light. Example of that is UV visible spectroscopy. Second one is the emission spectroscopy. In emission spectroscopy, we measure the emitted light. That is example of that is fluorescence spectroscopy. Third one is the scattering spectroscopy. In a scattering spectroscopy, we measure the intensity of scattered light. That is comes under the that is called as a scattering spectroscopy. An example of that is nephelometer. As today we are discussing about the fluorescence spectroscopy, we have to see the emission spectroscopy. In emission spectroscopy means if any compound absorbs the photons and goes from the ground state to the excited state and returns to the ground state by releasing its energy in the form of light, that is called as the emission spectroscopy. You can see in the figure that there are two levels, energy levels, E1 and E2. If photons loses its energy from the excited state, that is E2, and returns to the ground state, that is E1, by releasing the energy in the form of light, that is called as the fluorescence spectroscopy. Moving ahead, next is the luminescence phenomena. Luminescence is the emission of light from any substance occurs electronically from the excited state to the ground state. The luminescence is basically of two types. One is called as the fluorescence, second one is the phosphorescence. We can we see that the fluorescence is basically for the shorter period of time, while the phosphorescence is for the longer period of time. It is observed that fluorescence is observed to the 10 raised to minus 3 seconds, while the phosphorescence can be seen for around 10 seconds. Now, second important point is if we cut off the incident light, fluorescence light will be cut off, and if we cut off the incident light and still we get the emitted light, that is called as the phosphorescence. But generally in a pharmaceutical industries, fluorescence is more widely used than the phosphorescence for analysis of the various compound. Again, moving ahead, next is what is fluorescence spectroscopy and what is Stokes shift. So, fluorescence is a type of electromagnetic spectroscopy which analyzes the fluorescence of a sample. It involves using a beam of light that excites the electron from the ground state to the excited state, and when that electron returns to the ground state, it releases the light that we have seen earlier. Now, the emitted light's energy is obviously lower than the incident light. If energy is lower, then the frequency is lower. According to the energy is equal to h into frequency. Now, wavelength is inversely proportional to the frequency. It means that the emitted light's wavelength is longer than the incident light. Again I am repeating, it is always the emitted light's wavelength is longer than the incident light because it is having a lesser energy than the incident light. Devices that are used to measure the fluorescence are called as the fluorimeters or the fluorometers. Now, understanding the theory of molecular fluorescence, you have to understand the two wavelength. One is called as the excitation wavelength and second one is the emission wavelength. Excitation wavelength is a wavelength in which molecule travels from the ground state to the excited state. It means that we are providing the sufficient amount of energy to travel the photons or electrons from the ground state to the excited state, that is called as the excitation wavelength. While in case of emission wavelength, if that electrons travels from that excited to the state to the ground state by releasing the energy, and if we measure the wavelength of that energy, that is called as the emission wavelength. Again, moving ahead, next is first fluorescence was observed by the William Herschel in 1845. First, it was observed in the quinine molecule. Quinine shows the fluorescence in ionic water and the emission wavelength, that is 450 nanometer. For understanding the various relaxation process, you have to go for the Jablonski diagram, that is the main feature of this principle. For understanding of Jablonski diagram, in Jablonski diagram you can see the various energy levels. In this you can see that the electrons or photons travels from the ground state to the excited state by absorbing the energy. Now, in most of the cases, by internal or external conversion, molecule travels to the ground state by releasing the energy in the form of heat, that is called as the colloidal deactivation. But certain organic compounds travels from the excited state to the ground state by releasing the energy in the form of light, that is called as the fluorescence. While if the compound contains nitrogen and oxygen, in such compounds the electrons travels from the singlet excited state to the triplet excited state, and then it travels to the ground state by releasing the energy into the form of light, that is called as a phosphorescence. So, again I am differentiating of fluorescence and phosphorescence. If molecule travels from the singlet excited state to the ground state by releasing the energy in the form of light, that is called as the fluorescence, and if it travels from the triplet excited state to the ground state, it is called as the phosphorescence. I hope you have cleared the point that or the difference between the fluorescence and phosphorescence. Next is the instrument for the fluorimeter. The basic instrument contains the excitation source. Excitation source includes the various lamps like deuterium lamp, hydrogen discharge lamp. You can use a different type of lamp for the excitation as a excitation source. In a filter or monochromator, it is a prism or the various types of glass are available to convert the polychromatic light in a monochromatic light. Then that light travels towards the sample, then sample emits the again a radiation. That emitted radiation is converted into a polychromatic light to a monochromatic light by emission filter, and that light is measured with the help of the detector. Now, in a fluorescence spectroscopy, you have to remember that detector is always arranged on the 90-degree angle. Moving ahead, the various factors which can affect the fluorescence intensity, that is concentration, transition type, structure, temperature in solvent, impurities, quenching. There are a number of factors which can affect the fluorescence intensity. We will discuss that in our next lecture. Thank you for listening this presentation. I hope I have cleared the doubts regarding your principle of fluorescence spectroscopy. For more such videos, please follow the Pharma Ignite channel. Thank you.